Those of us who identify as transgender face many issues when being placed in gendered homeless shelters. First of all, there are only two options, male and female. Secondly, those who deviate from the norm are at risk of discrimination and physical harm. I would rather have gone homeless, cold, and on the streets than be faced with these options. However, I did not have to go to the streets. Willma's Fund provided me with a safe, warm space to call home during some of my most trying times this year.
Hello, Trinity Church. I am here with Donald Haar, the head of an organization called Willma's Fund, which we are sponsoring during Lent this year. And I just wanted to introduce you to Donald. Donald, say hi.
Hi.
Now, okay, so you're here to tell us more about Willma's Fund.
Correct.
So tell us what it's all about in general.
Well, Willma's Fund was an idea I got about 2 years ago. I work for the Salvation Army of Dane County.
Okay.
And in the development department. But I talk to the caseworkers periodically. I used to talk to them a lot more than I do when I worked in the same building, in the social services building.
Mm-hmm.
And they were always saying how much of a problem they have finding housing for transgender people or lesbian, gay, or bisexual people, that for some reason or another, you know, they can't stay in the shelter because they've been attacked,
Mm-hmm.
or they just don't get along with somebody there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no place for them to go except the streets, really.
Okay. So Willma's Fund, you created to create another set of resources for these people, right?
Right. I mean, there's plenty of homeless resources out there.
Right.
But I just wanted to specifically address the issues of the LGBT community.
Gotcha.
And with a little more focus on the transgender,
Mm-hmm.
because they are at the highest risk.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, well, they can tolerate a gay person, but they can't tolerate a man that dresses and acts and talks and has the name like a woman.
Right.
Or a
Mm-hmm.
girl that talks, acts, dresses like a boy.
Right.
Because that's what they think they should have been born.
Yeah.
And that's the only way they are comfortable and happy.
Right. So Willma's Fund is mostly used to provide hotel stays and maybe some job
That's
resources?
where our primary expenses
Mhm.
have been.
Mm-hmm.
We've also had a couple of clients that had cars. We bought them gas cards so they could get around to look for work.
Right.
Bus passes, some money for food. We paid a phone bill for a gentleman that lost his job because of his health, so he could stay in touch with his doctors. He had somebody that was going to pay his rent. He just had to have somebody cover his phone bill, and so we helped him with that there.
So, okay, so tell us more about how people can get involved.
Well, right now, the biggest need is funds and getting the word out. So the way we've raised funds.
Yeah, tell me more about this.
And we do drag shows,
Mm-hmm.
and so far we've raised over $6,000, and we've spent over $4,300 providing client services, which is really my goal, because I want to keep it to where there's at least 70 cents out of every dollar going to provide some kind of service.
Yeah.
I've always been kind of a comedian, entertainer type person. I always liked making people laugh. And so then I said, oh, I want to do a drag show for the Salvation Army. And Major's like, whoa.
Okay.
Back it up here. And that's actually where I got the idea for Willma's Fund. He said, do the drag shows, keep the money at outreach, and when we don't have money to help LGBT people, we'll provide the services and you can reimburse us for it.
That's great.
It really makes me feel good that I could have even just a small part in that.
I'd say that's not very small.
So if I have to put myself out there and put my face on homeless and air all my business, well then so be it.
Well, we're with you, Donald. We're behind you 100%.
Because if everybody knows your business, they ain't got no gossip for rumors.
It's true. It's true. Well, thank you very much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for all your support.